Thanks for your grace, guys. We got this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Team Taurus Weekly Call. My name is Steph. So excited to have you here. Tonight, we are going to be sharing testimonials and stories from our personal experiences with using the AO Scan mobile technology. We can't wait to share all of this with you for you to hear our stories of how this device has benefited us, how it has helped us with some of our health issues, and how it has also helped other people that we know. So tonight you're going to hear from members of our team with their personal experiences, specifically from 2021. It's kind of like a year-end recap that we're doing to share some of our favorite things. So with that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to call on our first volunteer, Jonathan Dunn. If you would like to share, go ahead and unmute yourself, and we cannot wait to hear your story.
Man, where to even begin? I've had this device for about 7 months now, and it's done so much for me. My first experience, though, was actually Juliana had used the device on me, and I had COVID. My whole family had it like the Thanksgiving prior to that, so about a year ago now. And I did not receive my taste and smell back at all 7 months later. And so she used the device on me, and it like was in stages of 3 days where it was like, oh, some things have a taste now, but it's nasty the next day. And then it was like, the next day I was like, oh, it's still nasty, but I'm getting a little bit of what it's supposed to taste like. And then by the third day, I got like, I taste and smell everything. And I'm a chef. And so it was very devastating for 7 months, not being able to taste and smell things. So it was a huge blessing. And that instant, I was like, I'm going to get the device. I need it. And I have 3 children of my own that I want to be able to use it on and have it all the time in my house. So from there, I got the device. And shortly after that, I was playing Frisbee with some of my in-laws and twisted my knee. And the next day I woke up and I couldn't put any weight on my knee. And so I scanned myself. I ran frequencies all day long. And by the end of the day, I could walk on it. I had hardly any pain at all. And I still have literally done nothing else to my knee except run scans on it. And I have no pain with it ever whatsoever. And let's see, my kids got a cold one time this fall, and I used it on them, and within a day, each one was like, bam, bam, bam. No more cold. I sleep well on my wife every night, and she's always had trouble sleeping, and it has improved her sleep immensely. So just in my family alone, not even other people that I've helped use it, it's been such a blessing to have.
That is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I love hearing how you were introduced to it, because that's something that a lot of people have been experiencing. And I love that you're able to use it like on your kids and your wife. Just fantastic. So thank you so much for sharing. And let's go ahead and move on to our next volunteer, Jenny O'Haver. Are you here with us? Jenny, are you available to unmute yourself? Maybe I can unmute you. Okay, if Jenny doesn't want to share. Julianne, if you would like to share next, we can go ahead and have you unmute yourself.
Hello everyone. Happy New Year. So great to be here this evening. I'm actually going to talk about my cat and talk about how the pet collar and the frequencies and running scans actually has helped my cat. She's a feral cat who had a tragic injury when she was 5 weeks old and broke her femur, and so she became an indoor cat. And so we've been nurturing her and healing her and loving her, but she's been very skittish. and she still desires to go outside. And so I was on a trip, came back home, and she got outside, spent the night outside, came back in, and ended up having another injury. And so luckily I got the pet collar at day of discovery and brought it home and ran a scan on her and was able to send her frequencies. And so her healing progressed a lot faster. She became more attentive, and she's more loving and caring. And it's just amazing how just sending frequencies to her and her wound closed so much faster and healed so much faster. And so it's amazing what this device does for animals. So I just wanted to share that.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you for sharing that the AO scan is not just for people, it's for pets too. And I have heard countless stories of animals that love to sit next to the AO scan while the frequencies are running, animals that have had health issues like you were mentioning that recover so quickly thanks to the frequencies. And animals are like this really great test group because there is no placebo with them. There is no bias. They sense things, and we don't tell them what's happening, but they see the results and they feel the results. And it's just wonderful to see that animals can benefit from this too. So yes, thank you for sharing that story about your cat. So glad that she is feeling better. I would love to hear next from Nicole Rodriguez. What do you have to share with us?
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see everybody. I absolutely love my AO scan. I'm actually going to continue a little bit with what Julianne was talking about with the animals, because I have a really funny story with a puppy who has exorbitant amount of energy, and then our older dog who's 12, almost 13, and he's very lethargic. So we have frequencies in both of their collars, and we'll charge the collars in the sun and re-input the frequencies every couple weeks. And one week I actually got their collars wrong, and our dog, the older dog, was like sleeping all day long, and our puppy was like running, doing laps in the backyard. And I'm like, what is going on? And my husband said, something's up with the collars, check the collars. I had switched their collars. So our older dog, who we would give him all the energizing frequencies, was getting all the peace and calming that we'd give the puppy. So it was just like such a great testimony to see like how much the frequencies really, really affect the animals and how much they help. So yeah, we switched their collars back, and then everything was good. But beyond the using the scanner with the animals, I would say that the inner voice scans and the ability to run inner voice every day has made me such a more balanced mom. I feel like I have so much more patience. I like do inner voice every single morning, and it just really helps me to be a better mom for my kids. I just have so much more balance that I love it. And now I use it with the kids too. So when I feel that, especially my younger boys, if they get into trouble and they're off, I can feel it. If they go into a timeout, I've started this new regimen for timeout where they'll sit on the steps and they'll do their inner voice, and they listen to their music, and then they can get up and, get out of their timeout. And what I've noticed is the shift in them after they listen to the balancing harmonics, they don't end up in timeout again in 5 minutes. It totally shifts their mood and corrects the emotional things that were setting them off. So for that's amazing too. And sometimes they'll even ask me for it. Like, Mom, I need the scanner. I need to listen to the music. So I love that. And it's gotten to the point where in my family, we've used it so much, like with my parents who are in their 80s. It got to the point where they would call me every couple days, like, oh, your mom is having a back problem. Can you put her in the scanner? Yep, I'll run some frequencies to her, no problem. And then like, oh, your dad has a headache. Can you put him in the scanner? Yeah, I'll do that. So it got to the point where my parents got a scanner. They're in their 80s. They have their own scanner. They know how to use it and they love it. My brother and his family have a scanner. My sister and her family have a scanner. My husband just got his own because I'm always using it. And it's really just been a wonderful, wonderful support for not just my immediate family, but just extended with friends and family. And I can't imagine not having it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think many of us feel the same way, especially after having it for a long period of time and being able to use it for so many people, because you can create unlimited profiles with it, unlimited amounts of profiles, whether it's for your family, your friends, your clients, your pets, anybody that you know. You can help them by doing scans for them, sending them frequencies through the quantum field. Really, the possibilities are endless. And I love hearing that, even your 80-year-old parents know how to use it and can use it on a regular basis. It's so simple and easy to use that truly anyone from children sitting in timeout on a step can access and manage the buttons to older generations as well. So thanks so much for that, Nicole. Okay, let's see here. Do we have someone in Conroe medium room? I think raised their hand. Were you wanting to share?
Sorry, that's my dance studio
Oh, okay.
name, and I don't know how to change it. So it just stays that on Zoom. Good evening.
Hello.
I'm Melise, by the way. Sorry, didn't have my name. I'm Melise Ryder. Nice to meet all of you. I just have a quick story I thought was pretty profound. I have a little health and wellness office where I do practice resonance and a bioresonance therapy. And I had a gentleman contact me saying he was having very weird symptoms, passing under 5G towers. And so I thought, okay, here's a real challenge. I was like, come on, I think I can help you. Come on in. And I'll tell you, it was very profound. He kept telling me over and over, the only thing I did different was come see you. And I scanned him once a week. I did my other therapy plus the scan. He listened to his tones, the whole thing, once a week. And in 2 weeks, he was better. 4 weeks, he said, I feel like a whole new person. And people saw him at work and were saying, you look so good. Like what he was like, I feel good. I feel like a whole new person. But it was just it was almost like his body was so energetically off, right? It's like he had an energetic virus, and the scan just put him right back into play. And then of course I'm a family of 8 as well. So it's, passing it around like hot potato, your turn, and helping with all those football injuries, and you name it, any little sniffle we get. But anyway, I know there's a lot of stories to share, but I thought that was pretty profound as far as protecting ourselves from EMFs that throw our frequencies off. It's pretty helpful.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much for that. Because I think people are becoming much more aware of the energies that are around us and curious to know how can they maybe mitigate those other energies that are not serving their highest truth and good. So I love to hear that you were able to use the AO scan in that way, in a practice and also with your family. So thanks so much for sharing, Melise.
You're welcome.
Okay. So let's see who here is next. Yeah, Juliana, do you have something you would like to share?
Yeah, this has been a life changer for me. It started with vertigo. I didn't understand anything about frequencies. I didn't honestly care. I wanted the vertigo to stop. And it was really interfering, not only, of course, with my normal life, but it was starting to interfere with my client connections, doing emotion code work. I was doing energy healing already. So when I got the device, I just wanted relief, and I started doing the frequencies. And it was totally, again, foreign to me, but in the first day, second day, I didn't see any changes yet. I didn't sense any changes. It was around the 5th, 7th day that I felt like my body was normal again. It was a massive shift to just like come back into, okay, my world's stable again. So that's where I'm like, okay, there's something to frequencies. The next thing that started breakthrough was friends with constipated children. So as I'm working with different clients, telling them about what I have, I would say, well, let me do one of your child or a client, and I would do the scans for constipation or intestines flush, and they would send me poop emojis all the time. Success. Anyway, that was another point of the next confirmation, and it just kept going from there. As I'm talking right now, my mom is here. I just picked her up from the airport, and what was happening for you last night?
It's wonderful having Juliana for a daughter. I just text her and I go, I can't handle it. My peace is gone. I go, I can't get it back. And I'm leaving Reno. I'm leaving my grandbaby, Juliana's niece. Won't see her again till September. And I was a mess last night. I was like, Julie, I cannot be a mess in the morning when I say goodbye. So I said, just do something. I haven't even asked her yet. What did you do? Because I was fine. I had total peace this morning. And so when she picked me up, I was like, what did you do?
Yeah, so I just did a vitals scan and optimization, and then I did inner peace. I ran inner peace and peace, calm, and tranquility. It was that simple.
Thank you. It was huge. I shifted from, I don't know how I'm going to handle the goodbyes in the morning to, oh, it's okay. You know, it's all good. And so I'm so grateful.
It's so good.
I'm proud of all you girls. You're doing great. And Rick, too. Is Rick on?
I think he is.
Thank you so much for sharing, ladies. So great to see you. And I love seeing both of you together and hearing just how we can all be supporting each other with frequencies from a distance. And if you're watching this later on and you're curious about like, how does that work? You're going to have to get in touch with someone on our team. One of our quantum living advocates will help to explain how these frequencies work from a distance. So we're going to leave a link in the comments below that you can click on to get in touch with one of us, or find our Facebook group, which is an educational platform for us to help people understand how these frequencies are impacting the lives of so many. So now we are going to hear next from Rick, actually. Rick, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Hello. So as many have already started their stories, I mean, I could tell many. I'm going to tell two or three specifically. One, my experience. So over the last several months, I've been working out pretty intensely and have created a playlist for muscle repair. And so every night before I go to bed, I'll hit that, and it's virtually eliminated being sore, which has been a game changer. And then my Juliana, so actually came into town earlier last year and was doing a presentation for my office. I'm a chiropractor out in Lakewood, Colorado. and she imprinted some frequencies on my dad's ring to help with his ankle. And my dad's one of the biggest skeptics out there. And he called me the next day. He's like, hey, I don't know how this works, but my ankle's better. But today I'm having a gout flare up. And so he's like, can you come imprint frequencies to help with that? I was like, sure. So I went down there and imprinted his necklace and his ring with some frequencies to help with the gout, with the flare up. And the next day he called me. He's like, my toe is just as red as it was yesterday, and I have virtually no pain. And if any of you are familiar with gout, it's excruciatingly painful. And so that afternoon, I broadcasted those same frequencies to him for about 4 hours. And by that evening, that flare-up was completely gone. And so the frequencies are incredibly powerful. And I'm just super excited to be able to share it with more people and see people's lives be changed.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you mentioned one about helping people specifically with pain issues, because one of the most powerful results that I have seen is with pain as well, and different variations of it. But I think it really does take some people experiencing it to believe it, because it sounds crazy that it could just be something as simple as frequencies to help people feel better. So thank you, Rick, for sharing those stories. Appreciate it. And now we're going to hear from Lindsay.
Hey, it takes me a second. Hey, everybody. It's so good to see you. I have a few short stories. One is just a personal one, and I don't know if anybody else that out there has seasonal defective disorder or whatever you call it, but I definitely do. And I forget every single year. And my doctor this time was like, girl, you got to start on your vitamin D like in September and get it in your system. Cause I wait until it's so dark. And then I'm just like, who turned off the lights? I can't handle it. And I just go deep and really fast. And so the 2 times that I've done that this year, I started doing my inner voice several times a day, every single day. And when I did that, just about like the 3rd day of doing that and doing some grounding, it really does center me and balance me. And it just lifts me up out of that place. And so I absolutely love the inner voice. And a really cool testimony that just happened is my sister's son was adopted, and he has, I think it's called, I had to write it down, reactive attachment disorder. And that's if they don't form a healthy bond at a young age. And so he has that sort of emotional thing where he can't emotionally attach to like my sister, her husband, or the kids. And he's like all over the place, you know? And so I said, Beth, let's just start now. Let's start this week. You send me his voice every morning. I'll send you the inner voice, and do it as much as you can throughout the day, or as much as he wants to. And she texted me back after the very first one and said, Lindsay, I was skeptical about it at first, about the inner voice thing, but I am sold. He immediately after the first time he did the 4 sounds, he crawled up in my lap, and he never does that. He wanted me to read him a book. And she said, it was like, I actually felt like he was bonding with me in a way. And then she said the second time they did it, I think that day, or it might've been the next day, he took an hour nap and did not fight her on the nap, which he always fights her on the nap, did not at all. And then he also like woke up and immediately wanted to listen to them again, and was like a happy kid the rest of the day. So that alone like is just such an incredible testimony, I feel like, with kids. And I've had other kids that I've done a scan on them, and they like, you know, passed parasites and stuff the next day, and their attitude began to change, and their personality even, and stuff like that, because of the junk that was going on in their body that they had no idea. And one last story that was recent is with the bracelets, but I imprinted some pain-free and inflammation and things like that on a bracelet for somebody who was giving it as a gift to their friend who works with electricity and transformers and things like that. And she said that once he put it on, he was like, Becky, I noticed a difference immediately. I mean, it completely grounded him and the frequencies began to move through his body, which kind of really, I think somebody said earlier, like an electric or some kind of virus, the electrical currents in your body that are messed up. So that completely helped him, and everyone that's bought a bracelet that we've put frequencies in it's changed their life too. And it does so much for me and my back pain and everything else. So I've got other testimonies too we'll share later, but just excited for this device. And the other thing I was going to say is the imprinting the homeopathic medicines has been huge. And I just recently had dental work, and every day dental detox has been coming up in my homeopathics, and I just imprint in my water and drink it. And I think that is one of my favorite features, I think. So anyway, thanks for letting me share.
Yes, that is so awesome. How powerful that a young child who has, a severe issue was able to benefit and see immediate results from something as simple as listening to customized music. And again, if you're not familiar with the Inner Voice program that is a part of the AO Scan technology, it generates customized music files that have frequencies, binaural beats, and tones that are unique to your emotional state, and helps to guide you to a more harmonious and peaceful state of being. So that's a little bit about the Inner Voice, and such a powerful story that I was like getting tears in my eyes hearing that, because I know how important it is for kids to have those really special attachments and bonds with their parents. So thank you for those. And then next, we are going to have Julianne Ford come back and share another testimonial. What else do you have for us tonight?
Okay, so I have two. I didn't want to take up all the time. So my husband has a sleep disorder. Don't want to diagnose it. And so I've created a playlist, and so I have to run it at least in 30 minutes to an hour before he goes to sleep. And he will sleep through the night without snoring, waking me up, which is wonderful. But recently he has had some sort of virus going around. And so I've been sending him frequencies and running the Inner Voice. And I even downloaded all the homeopathics, and whatever comes up and imprinting them in water and in the sugar pills. And that has helped him recover faster. And so he was thinking of going to get the test. And he's like, I don't think I need to do that because I feel so much better now. So I think that really helped him get through that hump, moving forward and healing him that way. So that was wonderful. And I also want to talk about the fabulous water stick that Solex has, and how wonderful that is, because not everybody has great quality of water. And what's fabulous about the water stick is it actually raises the pH and helps it purify the water, I believe, and help it really strengthen the value of it. So I've been putting it in a gallon jug, and after I set the water stick in the sun for 2 hours, and it will last for 2 weeks, and download and set frequencies in it, and even in the water, I have noticed that for me, it has really uplifted my mood and has really taken away the edge of me being nervous, and boosting my immune system. And I will download, or I don't know if it's download frequencies in my water stick and in my water, you know, and I'll do that every 2 weeks, or you know, when I fill it up. So that's really cool. I love the Cybin water stick. So I just wanted to say that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Glad to hear about your husband's sleep issues, because I know that so many people suffer from not being able to sleep well, or breathing through their mouth, or snoring. And we have heard lots of different stories of how frequencies in particular have helped alleviate some of those issues for people. And then the water stick too, again, something that people can ask about. It does help to shift the pH level of water and also turn it into structured water, which more people are becoming aware of how important it is to drink structured water. So thanks for sharing about that. And yes, there was a question if we're supposed to charge those water sticks in the sun. Yes, you can charge them in the sun. You can also put them in very hot water to improve their power and their ability. So I am going to go ahead and share now that we are reaching the end of our call. And I just want to thank everyone for everything that you shared tonight. It's so amazing to hear how the AO Scan is impacting all of these lives and your families and in your communities. And we want to help other people experience that as well. So if someone shared this video with you, please reach out to them to schedule an introductory scan with the AO. I know that they would love to help you understand it so that you can experience it for yourself, and also get, you know, a set of frequencies and see how you feel. So there's a couple stories that I want to share with you. I have been using the device for over a year now. I started with this device in October of 2020. And I was very skeptical as well. I am an emotion code practitioner, so I'm familiar with energy healing, but frequency devices were relatively new to me. And I found out about it from my sister, who had an incredible transformation experience that she will probably come on and share someday. But for me, I needed something that was going to help me just with my day-to-day life as a busy mom and business owner. As an emotion code practitioner, I can deal with a lot of heavy energies and dark energies day in and day out. And I also am having to manage my children's energies, who are also very sensitive people. And I wanted something that was going to help me just make life easier and less stressful. And that's exactly what I found with the AO. I personally like to make my own choices for my health. I like to be in charge of the decisions that I make for my body, and whatever I feel I need to take to someone who is more qualified or professional, I do that when I feel like it's needed. So I wanted a way to see what was happening in my body without having to ask anyone else permission, without having to pay thousands of dollars in test fees and insurance issues and all of that. And being able to scan my body every single day and get a report instantly that is showing me energetically what is happening in my body and the things that are maybe recurring over time. I have been able to identify some thyroid issues, hormone imbalances, parasites that needed to be detoxed and let go. And it was so nice that I could just have that information anytime I wanted, and then also be able to do something about it. The ways that the frequencies and scans have supported me have largely been with my hormonal health and with different emotions like anxiety and stress. I have had experiences where severe menstrual cramps were about to come on, and they were completely stopped altogether with frequencies alone. I have had issues where PMS was coming on pretty strong, where I was feeling very angry and moody, and I turn on some frequencies and my mood is reversed now to feeling peaceful, joyful, and like I'm not mad at my husband for no reason anymore. So I am incredibly grateful for this. My children use it and love it. My husband uses it frequently in the evenings so that he can sleep better at night. My parents own their own device, and they will tell you that frequencies helped my father to overcome pancreatic cancer, having his not pancreatic, sorry. What's the other one? The male one. Now I can't remember it. My dad had cancer and he had surgery and it was removed, and it helped him to recover from that surgery. And he also had his, yes, prostate. Thank you, Lindsay. He also had shoulder surgery, which was supposed to be incredibly painful recovery. And doctors could not believe how easy it was for him because of the ways that frequencies were supporting his body in that way. So if the sky's the limit with the AO Scan mobile, it is an absolutely amazing new technology that you should want to learn more about. Hopefully by now you're curious and you're ready. So I just want to invite you to join our Facebook group, Quantum Essentials Online, to reach out to the person who invited you here. Big thanks again to everyone for sharing, and really appreciate that the world is now becoming open to frequency devices. And you know, Albert Einstein said a long time ago that the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And I think we all can agree that Albert Einstein was on the right track. So with that, thank you everyone. And we hope to hear from you all and be in touch with you on our other channels. Have a good night.